Okay, so let's say we have f of x equaling 1 over x plus 1 and g of x equaling 1 over x minus 1. What would f of g of x be? Well, that means we're just going to plug this in over here for x and see what we get. So we end up with 1 over and then 1 over x minus 1 and then plus 1. Let's just make that obvious that that's x minus 1 so it doesn't look like something else. Perfect. Now, we want to add these two together, but we can't because they don't have the same denominator. So we can just make them have the same denominator by multiplying this by 1 over x. X minus 1 over x minus 1. Okay? So then we end up with 1 over and then 1 over x minus 1 plus, and then 1 times x minus 1 is just going to be x minus 1 over x minus 1. Okay, now we can add them because they have the same denominator, so we end up with 1 over and then 1 plus x minus 1 over x minus 1. Now clearly those are going to go away, so we end up with 1 over x minus 1. Now remember, this was the big one here. So like I've always said, division, so 1 divided by this whole thing, division is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So we know we can also say that is 1 times and then the reciprocal of this, x minus 1 over x, which is just simply going to be x minus 1 over x. So f of g of x equals x minus 1 over x. Now what if we wanted to do g of f of x? Okay, well that means we're going to take this and plug it in for x here. So that's going to be 1 over x plus 1 and then minus 1. So again, they don't have the same denominator, but we can make them have the same denominator. X plus 1 over x plus 1. Okay, so now we end up with 1 over and then 1 over x plus 1 minus and then x plus 1 over x plus 1. Okay, now remember, this is in parentheses here, okay? So now we're going to end up with 1 over, and then this is going to be 1 minus x minus 1, because remember, we had to distribute that negative, and then over x plus 1. Okay, so then we end up with, these are going to go away because it's plus 1 minus 1, so we end up with 1 over negative x over x plus 1. Now remember, like I said before, division, so this divided by this, is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So it's going to be 1 times, and then the reciprocal, which is x plus 1 over negative x. Okay? And then we end up with x plus 1 over the opposite of x. So g of f of x is x plus 1 over the opposite of x. There you go.